Tonight, on Recipe to Riches, we are going coast to coast to find a home cook who is ready to take their recipe from a home kitchen to a food product available in supermarkets across the country.
Professional chefs spend years perfecting recipes that are original and delicious enough for discerning palates. Finding a Canadian home cook who has what it takes is a tall order.
I know what the competitors are dreaming of because I have lived it. What started as humble home recipes are now being enjoyed across the nation.
As a marketer, I've turned product ideas into home runs on store shelves. I know exactly how hard that is. It's one thing for your family to love your product. It's another thing to get the public to buy it.
Entrees aren't considered the main course for nothing. Each year, Canadians buy over $500 million worth. New concepts have to drive discovery, be convenient, and deliver great taste without compromise. This week, Recipe to Riches looks high and low for the next great taste at the center of the plate.
We are here at Loblaws, tasting our way through hundreds of recipes, looking for the one that's destined for grocery store superstardom. One of these talented home cooks is going to see their recipe transformed into a President's Choice product.
Go, 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 go. Oh gosh, I'm sorry.
No time to get emotional.
They'll win $25,000 and be eligible for the grand prize of $250,000.
You are
This week's
winner.
Going on the journey from recipe to riches! You look ready for the judge.
I am. I'm really excited.
In every single way.
Hi. What did you bring me here today?
It looks like spaghetti.
Yes.
It sort of tastes like spaghetti.
Yes.
But it's zucchini.
This is my creation, tacos pizza.
A taco pizza.
BLT mac and cheese.
It's really tasty.
Hello. So tell me what we have here.
This is my bacon-wrapped turkey breast with homemade stuffing and cranberry
Dinner.
sauce.
So it's like you have Thanksgiving dinner all in one place.
That's the whole point.
I'm definitely competitive, and I'm a fighter for things that I want and very determined to win this contest. Sewing and cooking, I can pretty much do anything with either one. I sew evening gowns, bridesmaids dresses, wedding dresses, custom bikinis, and I make most of my own clothes. I don't play by the rules. When I sew, I don't use patterns. When I cook, I don't use recipes. If I can see it, I can achieve it, and I definitely see myself winning this contest. Good friends, good family, and a winning recipe. Cheers. Cheers. Thank you.
Excellent flavor. I like the texture. And you know what? I think it deserves a gold card, so congratulations.
So what have you brought us from St. John's?
I brought you homemade waffles with
Yes.
freshly caught trout, and I thought to myself, well, why not? Almonds go with trout.
Yes.
Almonds go with waffle. Maple syrup? Duh.
I make this dish whenever I feel heartbroken.
Do you two dress like this all the time?
All the time.
I hope you don't get heartbroken too often.
No, not at all. I eat this, then I feel much better.
Now, I understand that you spent some time in Afghanistan, is that right?
Absolutely.
How was the food there?
Well, the food was great because I ended up being the cook.
I currently live in Mississauga with my fiance, 2 kids, and 1 more on the way.
Cornelius.
No. You.
What's wrong with Cornelius? It's a perfectly good name.
I'm an Army reservist and have been for 12 years. At my heart of hearts, I'm actually an entrepreneur, and I would love to own my own food truck one day. I've definitely been thinking about how winning the grand prize would actually change my life. One of the things is giving back to the military community and supporting the Wounded Warrior Project.
Hey guys, I brought lunch.
A lot of soldiers have come back from various locations in the world, suffering physically and mentally.
All right, again, good.
Whether it's in the military or whether it's in my personal life, I'm a natural leader.
That's it, up and down.
I've got the
Keep
competitive
going.
edge.
There you
I can
go.
stay cool under
Good.
pressure, I'm organized,
Good. Up
and I
down,
can execute.
Up and down.
That's what's gonna make me the best competitor, without a doubt.
What have you made for me?
I have for you a jammin' Jamaican lobster bisque.
Really nice flavor. A little bit of heat, but not too much. It picks up a little bit on the back there. Very tasty. I need to get a little piece of lobster. Very nice. I have got a gold ticket.
Yeah! All right. Thank you very much. All right. Woo! Gold ticket. That's right. What did you bring me here today?
I have brought you my award-winning bacon and spinach pasta.
It's award-winning?
According to my family.
You've decided to challenge my taste buds.
I have. Hi.
Tell me, what do you have here?
I made this Persian-inspired kebabs.
So what's in this kebab?
So it's made with ground turkey instead of ground beef, which
Right.
is normally made with. And there's sumac, there's tons of onion in there as well. Gives it that nice flavor.
I like the fact that it's turkey, and the spices are very good. Very tasty. Okay. Well, we're gonna give you this. Thank you.
My name is Marjan. I've grown up in Canada, but I'm also Persian as well. My parents are from Iran, and they have instilled that culture within me through food, and I just want to share that. My mom, being a nutritionist, she always encouraged us to try to put a little healthy spin on things, and so I came up with this recipe. When I was 15, I went to Iran, and it was a little bit of a culture shock. It made me feel so blessed that I have grown up in Canada. I became a person who valued those opportunities, and I'm in this for the win. And there is nothing that can stop me. This competition is mine.
Our entree finalists are Marjan Mogharabi from Guelph, Ontario, with her Persian-inspired turkey kebabs.
Have some kebabs for you guys.
From Brampton, Ontario, Winslow Taylor, who's serving up his Jamaican lobster bisque.
Thank you.
And Melissa Gilbert from New Westminster, British Columbia, with her Great Canadian turkey dinner. Eh?
Thank you. Thanks very much. Wow.
All right. Competitors, this is our judges' first opportunity to taste your entrees. Judges, what do you think?
First of all, I love the idea of this because as soon as you put it down, I thought, well, you know, that's going to be an interesting replacement for chicken fingers.
Marjan, I think the kebab's delicious. I love the texture of it and particularly enjoy the crispiness that you gave on the top of the kebab.
Is this a family recipe?
This is definitely a family recipe.
I love that about it too, because you've chosen to use turkey and the seasonings in it. I can tell that it's a light dish. It does taste healthy, but you don't suffer from flavor.
Should we go on to Winslow's bisque?
Yep.
Wow, the lobster comes through like a punch in your face almost.
In a good way.
In a good way.
In a good way. I agree with you, Vikram. There's such a richness in those great chunks of lobster. What's the story behind the dish?
My fiance came home with soup from a restaurant that she thought was really good, and I tasted it and I said, I can beat that. And I did.
Let's move on to Melissa's turkey dinner.
There's so many smart things about this dish, Melissa. How did you come up with this?
It was for my friends, really. I decided to come up with a smaller version of the big turkey dinner for poker.
Poker?
Yes.
I want to be at your poker night.
Melissa, this dish is highly original. The ability to, you know, feel like I'm having a turkey dinner in a small portion makes me thrilled.
Thank you.
It's time for your product development challenge.
Your entrees were the top 3 in the country. But batching up is not just a simple multiplication. Ingredients behave differently under the pressures of cooking on a massive scale.
You have 3 hours to make 300 portions.
Cooking for 300 is definitely going to be a challenge.
I'm feeling really scared.
And after this challenge, someone's going home.
I don't want to go home. I am here for the long haul.
Competitors, the kitchen is yours. Our entree finalists are Marjan Mogherabi and her Persian-inspired turkey kebabs, Winslow Taylor and his jammin' Jamaican lobster bisque, and Melissa Gilbert with her great Canadian turkey dinner, eh? One of these competitors will win $25,000 and see his or her entree become a President's Choice product in stores this very weekend. Our kitchen commander, Rob Rainford, is here to keep you on track. This is a commercial kitchen, and Rob is here to make sure professional standards are upheld. Competitors, the clock starts now.
All right, guys, so this is the situation here. I feel confident. I look at my team. My team, they look like they're ready to go. We're gonna make 300 portions of the Jammin' Jamaican lobster bisque. All right, we break it down into 3 phases. I did a mission analysis. This is what needs to be done. This is how I'm going to accomplish it. So the first thing I wanna do is I wanna get a couple pots on the stove so we can get these lobsters getting in there right away. All right, so we're gonna have you 2 guys work on that, and we'll work on some other stuff.
All right, Winslow, got a great dish, but the abundance of lobster in your bisque is not cost-effective for a mass-market product.
When I make this dish for my family, it is filled with lobster, it's really chunky, it's really luxurious.
What you need to do is use 1/3 of the lobster from your original recipe, but get the same kind of flavor out of it.
That kind of made my jaw drop. How am I going to bring up the flavor?
Okay, this is the turkey bacon Thanksgiving wrap. We need to do our stuffing first, and we need to butterfly and pound out our turkey breasts as fast as possible.
So, Melissa, no manufacturer is going to wrap this one strip of bacon at a time. You must find a way to streamline this step.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm feeling really scared, to be honest. Shaking.
These are turkey kebabs. We need the turkey in a bowl, mixing. All of these onions need to be peeled, and we're gonna blend them. I'm quickly thinking back to how do I do it at home, and how do I make that into a bigger version of what I normally do. If somebody else can take the actual ground turkey and start mixing it in with the other dry ingredients.
Marjan, you're going to have to make some modifications to yours. The handmade shape and the large size of your dish will not work in a manufacturing facility. You're going to have to make a decision right now. How are you going to make that smaller and much more uniform size?
As soon as he said that to me, I knew I had to get my head on straight.
Nobody likes to cut onions, and I decided that the best thing for us to do is to go with the immersion blender.
Lost a baby here. You want to give it a quick rinse? Thank you.
I'll take care of that right now.
We need these split up, so eyeball about 2 pounds. We're gonna start mixing the dry ingredients in.
Is that okay?
Perfect, keep going.
We pretty much pounded out 80 breasts, and they were going crazy on it.
Yes, I am. They have to be very thin, but not paper thin where you can see through it.
We are gonna have one really sore arm tomorrow.
We're gonna take these living ones, kill them, and put them down there.
Oh, the humane way, huh?
Yeah, no need to make them suffer any extra, right?
There was probably about 60 or 70 onions there today. All right, that should be good. Unfortunately, at this point, I have to just eyeball it. Tearing up over here, people, tearing up.
We need 15 liters of the pumpkin.
Okay.
Okay, let's see if we can get that pumpkin up there.
And how much of the cooking process do you want now?
I want to cook them about 80% because we're going to cook them afterwards as they continue in the saute.
Have you seen this size of turkey breast before?
Only at the butcher
All
when
right.
he cuts it up for me.
Rob just sort of appear right there when you really don't want him there.
Oh, so you're the one cutting it up today.
I've never honestly seen a piece of turkey this big before.
More like what I use
I'm
at
used
home,
to using
so
small,
I'm
regular-sized
more
breasts, not Jurassic-sized pieces.
Let me just eyeball it first. Looking at from a mass production perspective, I knew that I had to change it up. I can't make it the way that I make it at home.
Can you show me one more time, please? Okay.
And I had to think quickly, came up with an ice cream scoop and scooped it all out and had the chefs just line it all up. This isn't gonna be exact.
I'm seeing the path that she's going down right now, and I'm not really liking it at all. She was given a directive that she needs to get a uniform shape.
So that's your measurement right there.
She does need to change something very quickly.
Okay, so if you are done that one, then we're gonna throw it into the oven. It's on 400.
We're gonna get real messy real soon here. Right now, I only want the meat from the tails and the claws. I want the meat to be chopped up fairly fine, about this big. Not too big of chunks, but chopped up pretty fine, okay?
Is that good? Are you happy?
So let me see. Yeah, this should be good.
Oh my gosh, it's the most stuffing I think I've ever made.
We're looking at your time now. Like, I want to see something.
The way I make my dish is I lay them out similar to a sushi style, and then I roll that up, and then I wrap it with bacon to make sure nothing falls out and it tastes extra yummy with bacon.
You're gonna have to find a way to do this in a much more uniform manner.
Okay. I have to try and figure something else out right now, and I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do yet.
I'm gonna work on getting all the spices together. We should be good to go.
He's got a ton of spices, so that's his mission right now, is to make sure that it tastes exactly the same all the way through. Mia, I think we can talk about laying it out and then a quick roll.
So Jessica, you can start like laying out 6 bacon, put them on sheets.
I'm gonna throw this one in right now just to see.
You guys got half an hour left. Let's go.
I hear the oven beeping.
Hot coming down. Marjan, at home, do they plump up like this? Is this similar?
They don't rise usually.
Uh-huh.
We were having a little bit of problems getting them to that shape that I wanted. The shape. I think I gotta get the shape right. Because that's not what a kebab looks like. I'm a little bit worried that the judges will comment on that.
Oh, this is concentrate, that's good. Well, we just got the coconut cream in. Right now I'm in the tasting phase. The reason I taste all the time is that's how I learned to cook. I've never been a person that really cooked from recipes. It's pretty good, need some more flavor though. I get a second, third, fourth, and fifth opinion from my team.
I think it needs more salt.
There was something not coming out as much as I would like it to come out. I didn't know what it was.
Very onion.
Very onion? Too onion? I'm not getting that lobster kick as much as before. Right away in my head, that was like, uh-oh.
Okay, we need to unwrap these. This is what we don't want to see.
Leakage is a big issue with my entree.
So
Are you worried now?
Yeah, of course I'm worried.
Why are you worried?
Completely different from what I'm used to.
I'm gonna lose all the cranberry sauce out of it, and the stuffing is just not gonna stay in.
A lot more leakage now, and I've never had that with mine. It has to look beautiful as well. You're supposed to be able to see all of the components.
When it's cut.
Yes, and I don't know if it's gonna look like that because it's leaking out.
I think I may have blown it.
With only minutes to go in the product development challenge, Marjan's kebabs aren't shaping up. Winslow's bisque is lacking flavor, and Melissa's turkey dinner is falling apart.
Okay, I'm just sort of patching some of the pieces where there's stuffing falling out.
I did have to alter my approach a few times. I'm gonna have to pull from the sewing experience to really help me do that.
This is what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna add this with some of the lobster base. I took some stock and I added some of the lobster bouillon to it, mixed it up and tasted it. Beautiful. And at that point, I was very glad.
The shape looks great on those ones, so let's keep that up.
One of them had come up with this master plan to have his hand on the one side, pressing them up. Genius.
Give it a stir, please. Oh, yeah. Definitely tastes a lot better already.
How many trays fit in the oven at once?
5.
5? Okay.
You got 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh, I'm panicked.
Almost there. It's the last batch to crisp up.
This challenge is over.
Hello.
time to find out who survived the product development challenge. First up, we have Marjan Mogharabi and her Persian-inspired turkey kebabs.
What actually happened when you were cooking the kebabs? Because kebabs traditionally are a little bit longer.
To be honest with you, I am a little bit disappointed in the shape of it, but I think the texture and the taste is there.
There seems to be an enormous change, especially in terms of turmeric. Why such a large addition?
I did add a little bit more of the turmeric just to give it that color.
I mean, you really have kind of reinvented your recipe a bit here today. Do you feel you made the right changes?
Yes, I did change a few things in the kitchen today, but I don't think it changes what people will feel about it.
Next up, we have Winslow Taylor and his jammin' Jamaican lobster bisque.
Did you ever think of adding maybe little potatoes or some other vegetables?
It isn't purely lobster. There is actually a Caribbean pumpkin that is pureed into it.
I just don't think I can afford a $25 soup.
The soup that you have in front of you, we actually did cut back the amount of lobster. It's actually about a third of what the original lobster was.
The consistency is definitely a little different. Did you notice that?
I got thrown off a little bit with the lesser amount of lobster, as well as the batching up in general. When I'm making this in a vat that I've never seen before, I found it very difficult.
And finally, Melissa Gilbert and her great Canadian turkey dinner. Eh?
Melissa, what was the biggest challenge you faced today?
Wrapping it completely different with the bacon. I was just really hoping, fingers crossed, that it turned out the way I make it at home.
Was the recipe different when you batched it up?
Mass producing is definitely not what I'm used to.
My concern is that you may sell a lot of these over the holiday period, but whether people will want and crave a turkey dinner outside of that period of time.
I think a lot of people would actually have this all year round. I know my friends do and my family does.
Marjan, Winslow, Melissa, your fate is in the judges' hands. I'm going to have to ask you to step away so that they can deliberate. When you come back, unfortunately, I'll be saying goodbye to one of you.
I don't think I could handle going home and having to tell my friends and family that I didn't do it.
Nobody wants to be the person to go home, right?
I don't really want to have it end here, right?
Judges, very, very tough decision. Who should stay? Who should go?
All three of them were delicious. Marjan has made her interpretation of meatloaf with a very unique twist that has flavor, personally, I've never tasted before.
As a mother and a grandmother, I do like the notion of these because they feel like a healthy alternative to give to kids.
Personally, being an Indian, I think Marjan's kebabs fails to give us that wow factor.
Melissa's feels the most complete as a dish.
Although I love it, I wonder about the perceived seasonality.
Do you think that Melissa's dish, with a possible name change, could encourage people to purchase it outside of seasonal time?
I mean, I think it is what it is.
But remember, you always eat as a family together on Sundays. If that is a dish that is available, I think you can still sell this in the middle of January or February or in March.
Something as rich and hearty as this lobster bisque soup, that is also seasonal.
No, I don't see it seasonal
I don't
at
know
all.
if it is seasonal, actually, because it has flavors that you expect from the island. And so that, to me, is evergreen.
But it is too expensive.
Soup as an entree is an incredibly hard sell. There is such competition in that space already in the can section of every grocery store.
Do we know who's going home? Marjan, Winslow, Melissa, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that these judges could not come to a decision. But they decided on the two people that will go forward for $25,000 and to see your entree become a President's Choice product in stores this weekend, and the one person who is going home. 3 of Canada's top home cooks have battled it out in the Product Development Challenge. One of them is going home. Marjan, Winslow, Melissa, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that these judges went back and forth, and then, very painfully, they came to a conclusion. Judges?
Marjan, the new size that you created actually made the product more accessible to a wider market, but I still think it lacked visual appeal.
Winslow, I couldn't help going back for seconds. Your soup was addictive. But the intense heat and the upscale ingredients may be daunting to consumers.
Melissa, your dish was very well executed, but those are flavors that we have seen before.
Marjan, your Recipe to Riches journey is over.
I am truly, truly disappointed. It's sad.
I'm so sorry that we have to say goodbye.
I really thought that this product could be out there.
Wow. I think we can breathe a little bit now. Winslow, Melissa, you've made it to the final round. You're one step closer to $25,000 and to see your entree become a President's Choice product. You've proven that you can make your product on the large scale, but what will the public think? It's time to take your product to the masses. Your final challenge is the product launch.
Winslow and Melissa, it's been a tough journey to get here, but the hard journey's only just begun. Now you have to go out into the marketplace to see whether the consumer really wants to buy your product. So let's see if you're up for the next stage of this competition.
Each of you is going to be working with a top Canadian marketing company in order to position your product and to stage an event for the public to try it. Here are the agencies you're going to be working with. You have 24 hours, and the clock starts now.
Good luck.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
My worry as I walk into the marketing firm is that I really want them to stay true to how I want to market my product and not what they see as best fit for my product.
Hi there. It's stressful. Everyone's so businesslike, and it's totally new to me.
This is the Jammin' Jamaican lobster bisque. There's a lot of seafood and a lot of Jamaican or Caribbean spices. And obviously, you're getting some spice. What do we have here?
Bacon wrapped turkey with stuffing and cranberry.
That is really good.
Where's the red wine?
I'm really happy that they like my food. These are big shots.
So the name that you have currently is?
The Great Canadian Turkey Dinner, eh?
Are you very attached to that name?
It's kind of long.
We want to use you as the star of this dish.
Okay.
So we want to put your name in the actual dish. What do you think about Melissa's bacon-wrapped turkey?
Of course I like that. It has my name in it.
We can make it famous.
I'm pretty stoked about this.
From a brand perspective, I actually think what you've done is quite good.
It was a great feeling when they didn't change the name. It's going to stand out. That's going to ring true. This is good.
The challenge that you actually have in front of you is soup is one of the toughest categories to be in. And we're launching this product in the summer. And in Canada, sales of soup go down by pretty big numbers. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go down to the street. It's hot outside. You'll have a sandwich in one hand and soup in the other. And say, if I was to give you a free meal right now, which one would you take?
One of the problems that we think you'll face is trying to get consumers to consider turkey on an average Tuesday night.
Canada needs this dish any time of the year. It's really crazy having a whole marketing team, like, right there for me.
We've come up with 2 taglines underneath your logo. Turkey isn't just for Christmas. The second one is turkey like never before.
That's the one that I really like. It's not gonna make people think of Christmas.
Take this out on the street.
Okay.
Talk to some people and get their feedback.
They felt that soup was not going to be a big seller in the summer and it was more of a winter item, but I wanted to prove them wrong. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
If I was to give you a free meal right now, would you prefer this cold turkey sandwich or a nice warm bowl of lobster bisque?
I think I'd definitely take the sandwich.
You take the sandwich?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. If I was giving you a free meal right now, take the sandwich?
Yeah.
The sandwich.
Sandwich, I think. More
sandwich?
filling. Yeah.
They're not quite sure. I can see in their face, what kind of soup is this? What is this about? so they go for the sandwich. So I decide, you know what? Maybe I need to give a little bit more explanation as what this is. The cold turkey sandwich or a nice hot bowl of jammin' Jamaican lobster bisque?
Oh, the Jamaican lobster bisque. That sounds excellent.
Jammin' Jamaican lobster bisque.
Probably the bisque.
So by telling the people the name, I was hoping to kind of influence them just a little bit.
Hi guys, can I ask you a quick question? No? So not used to this. I'm a little out of my comfort zone. What do you think would get you to buy turkey more?
Are you guys actually selling turkeys?
We're not selling turkeys right now. I'm just curious to know what you like more.
Okay, I think
Turkey isn't just for Christmas? Okay, thanks so much.
Turkey isn't just for Christmas?
Okay. If the majority of the public could go with turkey's not just for Christmas, I suppose I'd have to go with it.
Turkey like never before.
Yeah, me too.
I like turkey like never before.
Turkey 4, unanimous. Tremendous. Thank you.
So, what did we learn?
I said, how about this cold turkey sandwich versus jammin' Jamaican lobster bisque? Even if they still chose the sandwich, they still kind of went, oh, that's interesting.
Based on what I'm hearing, you're a good salesman. And that is very important as an entrepreneur who's launching a brand.
I'm thinking we did pretty good.
So?
It's definitely turkey like never before. I am definitely relieved.
We've got a name.
Yes.
We've got a tagline, and now we're ready for the event. You're going to be launching your product at, are you ready?
Yes.
Pan Alive.
Totally thrilling. I have absolutely no idea what Pan Alive is.
So Pan Alive is the premier launch event of a Caribbean festival here in Toronto. You're gonna have 5,000 people come through your booth and try your product.
Wow.
You're gonna have some type of action, some entertainment. We have Pan Man Pat on steel pan for you.
We have 4 Caribbean dancers for you, and we've located your booth right next to the gate.
This is your opportunity to tell consumers about your product, get their feedback, and get you on your way to the $25,000. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Team Jammin'.
Team Jammin'.
Team Jammin'. Brianna shows me the logo options.
Got the two side by side. What do you think?
They're nothing like how I had thought. It has a Caribbean vibe. They're better. The one on the right, you guys nailed it on that one. My strategy for the event is going to appeal to something that is near and dear to all Caribbean people, music. I need a song that's going to represent my food. I really need to bring this crowd up.
Right now, I feel really excited. Fantastic. I love the turkey graphic. The pink, the green, the sparkles. It's totally me. Super cute. I love the party theme, music, dancing. I love the whole idea. Definitely confident going into this next round.
Hi, guys. So I've never planned an event. So naturally, without even thinking about it, the Army side comes out. Picture this as the battlefield. All the guts, all the glory. I came here to win. 1, 2, 3, Team Jammin'!
We want to get them to taste it and vote as fast as possible.
This is my element because it's music, it's food, it's fashion, it's dancing. This is me. I really want to win.
So girl team, guy team. Be super flirty, be super cute, really, really nice.
Okay,
So Melissa.
Yes.
There's some bad news.
Okay.
Okay, I've been calling and calling the dancers. They're not answering. We're not too sure what's going on.
Oh.
Okay, guys. But I think you need a backup plan.
Okay. Hey, can any of you girls dance?
All right, guys, 1, 2, 3, up. Pan Man Pat arrives. He has his whole crew. They're going to be part of the reason that draws attention to my area. All of a sudden, on my arm, there's a raindrop. Oh boy, here comes the rain.
Wow.
But I wasn't expecting that much rain.
It is just pouring.
I have no music. I have no dancers.
I'm seriously freaking out right now.
I'm really stressed.
Just outside a major Caribbean event, our Entrees competitors are about to launch their products to the public. But this marketing challenge may be a total washout, and Melissa's entertainment is still missing in action.
1, 2, 3, up. So I make a decision. Let's move this station right beside the stadium. That way people can taste the food and enjoy it in a dry place. Perfect, right there.
My stress level's super, super, super high.
Let's go. Let's go, let's go. I need you girls to sell it, sell it, sell it.
Winslow's a lucky guy. Caribbean fest, Caribbean style food.
All right, the lobster man's here, lobster man's here. I'm feeling that this is not going to be as easy as I think because of Melissa.
It's your entire turkey dinner all in one.
She's a great personality. She's really good competition for me.
Oh, look
who it is. Well, I'll just get you out of here.
I've never run through puddles in my heels and mud and pouring rain at the same time. I really, really want this.
We're gonna have to really pull out some serious action here, guys.
Oh, wow. Arlene! Arlene is somebody I look up to, so right away I'm going, oh no. I haven't heard a bad piece of feedback yet.
Not one bad piece of feedback?
In fact, people are trying to get second and thirds.
Yeah?
I feel like I'm speaking a mile a minute because I want her to know everything that I've done and everything that we've thought about.
And what do you think?
That's great.
Very good.
Great.
Like, would you buy it?
What's the price point?
Well, what would you pay for it? $10? 15?
That was a bit of a high point for me.
What's the reaction been so far?
Really, really good.
Yeah? And what was the name you ended up calling your product?
Now it's Melissa's bacon wrapped turkey.
I liked Canadian turkey dinner, eh?
I'm not a professional when it comes to marketing. I just know how to cook really good food.
We lost our band and we lost our original dancers.
You lost them?
Yeah, they didn't show. Yeah, it's all up to the food now.
I think you got to get out there and keep selling.
Yes.
I am the chef. You like this?
Make sure that you got 3 surveys done for 3 people. Exactly. Okay, good.
Right, you guys are working hard. You're gonna need a little energy. I'm gonna give you a nice sample.
A lot of people really, really like my food. Can't go wrong with bacon turkey.
So when are you going to be in the stores?
Well, hopefully as soon as possible.
Feeling a little anxious at this point. I don't think anybody's been down there in a while. And one person will be walking away with $25,000 for the chance to go to $250,000. That's big.
Winslow, Melissa, you both worked with a marketing agency to define your product, and then you took it to the people for them to taste.
Congratulations for doing that in the pouring rain. That was not an easy task at all.
First up, Winslow.
Winslow, how did it go out there today? How did you feel when you were selling your product?
People were receptive to it. Got a lot of feedback saying, oh, it reminds me of the islands, reminds me of back home.
And you also chose to keep your existing name.
Yes.
Did you feel that was the right choice? Is that the advice that you got from the marketing agency?
We decided together that it was the right choice.
Next, of course, Melissa.
What was some of the feedback you got?
That they loved it. They were actually asking me, when is it available? Is it available now?
You chose to change your name to Melissa's Bacon Wrapped Turkey.
Yes.
What was the original name?
The Great Canadian Turkey Dinner, eh?
You think that was the right choice to make?
I went with what the marketing team had suggested. They're the professionals. I'm not a marketer.
Did any one of you ask a consumer what would they pay for it?
It came up, the lady that was there said $10 and the man that was there said $15.
For a bowl of soup,
Right.
that is a very high amount to pay.
And Melissa, did any price point issue came up at all?
No, it was just purely, is it already in the store?
So Arlene, you have some survey results. Maybe you can walk us through them.
Absolutely. Melissa, the first question that was asked was whether the name was actually capturing what the product was about. 95% said yes. Winslow, 100%.
Wow.
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 Next question was whether or not the event that you put on actually inspired people and made them want to actually even try the product, right? 85% said yes to that. Winslow, 100% again.
Oh. Wow.
And finally, after they tried it, whether or not people would actually buy the product. Melissa, 94% said yes. That's much more impressive than I thought it was going to be because of all the challenges you had. Winslow, 99% said yes.
Wow. You did
Really
well,
impressive.
too.
So remember, though, it's not just about the numbers. The judges will be considering the name and marketing event and how you did in the product development challenge. Someone's future is about to change, but unfortunately, it will only be one. We've seen two fierce competitors battle it out for tonight's prize of $25,000 and to see their entree become a President's Choice product in stores this weekend. Winslow, Melissa, it's time for the judges to deliberate. I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Okay.
I'm probably going to faint or throw up.
My stomach is going like, back and forth and just...
Judges, who was successful in this challenge and who had a hard time?
I do feel that they were both at a disadvantage today, albeit the same disadvantage, but with the weather being so unfavorable, it's hard to really get people excited about your product.
Winslow's lobster bisque, he said that somebody would pay $15 or $10 for it. When it actually comes down to it, people are not going to pay that much money.
I agree with you. There's no question that it's a luxurious entree. But he's already overcome that obstacle in the batch up. He's already proven that he can keep that flavor, but do it in a less expensive way. Now it's about the marketing, and it seemed to be very successful today. I mean, judging from the survey, that was impressive.
But he had a Caribbean dish at a Caribbean festival.
If I was selling Indian foods in an Indian wedding, I would also get 100%.
You might get 105% because you're that good.
You know what? I love the fact that Melissa actually listened to her marketing team.
There are very few people who could show up to an event, have the bands not show, and still pull it off and still get 85%.
I really did like the name Melissa's Bacon Wrapped Turkey.
When she's there to promote it at an event like this, that's one thing. Putting Melissa into the name makes sense because there's Melissa. But when it goes into a supermarket, who's Melissa?
I think that I have to ask now the question, have you reached a decision?
I think we have.
I think we have.
Winslow, Melissa, one of you will be crowned the winner, the other will be going home. Arlene.
Winslow, your flavors were right on trend. But the consistency of your bisque was different every time that we tasted it.
The marketing event today confirmed what I thought. Your dish was creative and delicious. But I have to wonder if it will appeal to a mass market.
Your lobster bisque was a great nod to your heritage. I wonder if people can afford to buy that on a daily basis.
Melissa, your concept was an inspired product. Thank you. But I think you should have trusted your gut on the marketing challenge and kept the name you came in with.
From the very start, your dish has been the most consistent and has tasted the most comforting. But will people want to buy a turkey dinner year-round?
Your dish was really well executed, and it was truly a complete meal. But traditional flavors still need to be exciting.
Melissa, you are an inspiring competitor. But Winslow, you are the winner of this week's Recipe to Riches.
I know my family will be proud. It also means a little bit more financial freedom for my family with a baby on the way.